You're ending your day wrong. And deep down, you already know it. Not because you're weak, not because you don't care, but because you've been trained to treat nighttime like it doesn't matter. You tell yourself tomorrow will be different, that you'll fix things later, that one more bad night won't hurt. That lie is costing you more than you realize. Every single night is a vote for the body you're building and the energy you'll wake up with. Ignore that, and you pay the price quietly, slowly, and consistently. Look at how your nights really end. You push through exhaustion instead of listening to it. You eat without thinking. You scroll without stopping. You collapse into bed, not restored, not calm, not ready to heal, but overstimulated and inflamed. Then you expect sleep to magically fix everything. It doesn't work like that. Sleep doesn't erase damage. Sleep only amplifies what you set in motion before it. If you end the day careless, your body spends the night struggling instead of repairing. This is the part most people don't want to face. Your body is not broken. It's responding perfectly to how you treat it. The heaviness in the morning, the bloating, the low energy, the brain fog, those aren't random. They're feedback, clear, honest feedback. And ignoring feedback doesn't make it disappear. It's it louder. Night after night, your body waits for a signal that it's safe to slow down, safe to repair, safe to reset. Most nights, that signal never comes. You've been told health requires complexity, fancy routines, extreme discipline, endless motivation. That's nonsense. Real change usually starts with something unglamorous and uncomfortable, admitting that small habits matter more than big promises. The truth is harsh but freeing. You don't need more information. You don't need another plan you won't follow. You need one simple, repeatable action that tells your body, I'm done damaging you for today. Here's the uncomfortable realization. Nighttime is the most powerful part of your day, not the gym, not the morning routine. Night is when your body decides whether to heal or hold on to damage. Hormones shift. Inflammation either cools down or stays lit. Digestion either settles or keeps working overtime. And you are either helping that process or sabotaging it right before you sleep. Most people waste this window completely. They treat bedtime like an afterthought, then complain about the results. You can't keep disrespecting the repair phase of your body and expect strength, clarity, and energy in return. That's not how biology works. Your body keeps score, even when you pretend it doesn't. The hardest truth is this: doing nothing is still a decision. Skipping a simple supportive habit before bed isn't neutral. It's a choice to let stress, poor digestion, and inflammation run unchecked all night. That choice feels easy now, to how you treat it, especially in the final hours of the day. You tell yourself you're tired, but what you really are is overstimulated. Your mind is racing, your digestion is overloaded, your nervous system is still in fight mode. Then you lie down and wonder why sleep feels shallow and mornings feel heavy. That's not bad sleep luck. That's cause and effect. You didn't give your body permission to slow down, so it stayed on high alert all night. Here's a harsh truth most people avoid. How you end your day matters more than how you start it. You can have the perfect morning routine, but if your nights are chaotic, your body never fully recovers. Nighttime is when repair is supposed to happen. Hormones rebalance. Inflammation should cool, cells should restore. But when your system is overloaded, that repair window gets hijacked by stress and poor digestion. You eat late, not because you're hungry, but because you're undisciplined with your boundaries. You snack because you're bored. You scroll because you don't want silence. And all of that sends signals to your body that danger, activity, and effort are still required. Your body listens. It always listens. And it responds by staying tense, inflamed, and restless. Then comes the morning confusion. You wake up feeling bloated, heavy, foggy. You blame age. You blame work. You blame sleep itself. But the truth is simpler and more uncomfortable. You never gave your body the support it needed to do its job overnight. You expected recovery without cooperation. Another truth that stings: consistency beats intensity every time. One chaotic night won't destroy you, but repeating the same careless ending to your day will slowly drain your energy, your digestion, and your resilience. This is how people burn out without realizing it. Not in dramatic moments, but in small nightly decisions they refuse to take seriously. Your body craves rhythm, predictability, signals that it's safe to rest. When those signals are missing, it stays guarded. Muscles don't fully relax. Digestion doesn't settle. Sleep becomes lighter and less restorative. Over time, this becomes your normal. And that's the most dangerous part, when dysfunction feels familiar. You don't need discipline powered by willpower. You need structure powered by awareness. Ending your day intentionally is not a luxury. It's a requirement for healing. And ignoring that fact doesn't make you strong. It makes you stubborn. Your body doesn't reward stubbornness. It responds to care. The truth is, nighttime is not for fixing mistakes. It's for recovering from a well-supported day. When you keep abusing that window, your body stops bouncing back the way it used to. That's not aging. That's accumulated neglect. And the good news, whether you like it or not, is that this is reversible when you stop treating nights like. They don't matter. You don't need to overhaul your life. You need to stop sabotaging it at the same hour every night. When you change how your day ends, you change how your body feels when it begins again. And that shift starts the moment you stop lying to yourself about how important your nights really are. Your body was designed to heal itself, but only under the right conditions. That's the part nobody tells you. Healing is not automatic just because you're asleep. Sleep is a doorway, not the work itself. What happens inside your body at night depends entirely on the signals you give it before your head hits the pillow. And right now, most of those signals are telling your body to stay alert, stay tense, and stay inflamed. Here's the hard reality. Your body does its deepest repair work at night, not during the day. This is when inflammation should calm down, tissue should rebuild, and systems should reset. But when digestion is strained, stress hormones are high, and your nervous system is overstimulated, that repair mode never fully activates. Instead of healing, your body spends the night managing chaos. That's no. T-rest. That's survival. You might think lying down is enough. It isn't. Physical stillness doesn't equal internal calm. Your gut, your liver, your hormones, all of them are still working in the background. If they're overloaded, sleep becomes shallow and recovery becomes incomplete. You wake up technically rested but not renewed, and that gap adds up faster than you realize. This is where most people get it wrong. They chase solutions during the day and ignore the window when the body is actually ready to change. Nighttime is when your system is most responsive. It's when your body listens closely. But it only responds if the message is clear. It's safe to slow down, safe to digest, safe to repair. Another uncomfortable truth: inflammation doesn't disappear on its own. If you don't actively support your body's ability to calm it, inflammation lingers. It quietly interferes with sleep quality, energy levels, and long-term health. You feel it as stiffness, heaviness, or mental fog. You call it normal. It isn't. It's a sign your body never got the chance to reset. Your digestion plays a massive role here. At night, your digestive system should ease into a gentle, efficient rhythm. When it's supported, everything else benefits. When it's stressed, your entire body pays the price. Poor digestion at night doesn't just affect your stomach. It disrupts hormones, sleep depth, and recovery. Here's the realization that changes everything. You don't need to force healing. You need to remove what blocks and support what allows it. That's it. No extremes, no punishment, just alignment with how your body already works. When you do that, your body takes over and does what it was always meant to do. The mistake is thinking that bigger actions create bigger results. In reality, the body responds best to small, consistent signals. A simple supportive habit before bed can shift your entire night from survival mode into repair mode. That shift doesn't feel dramatic. It feels subtle. And that's why people underestimate it. But subtle changes compound. Night after night, your body begins to trust the process. Sleep deepens, recovery improves, energy returns, not because you forced it, but because you finally stopped getting in the way. The truth is, your body isn't asking for perfection. It's asking for cooperation. When you give it that, especially at night, it repays you in ways you can't fake with stimulants, shortcuts, or motivation. Healing isn't loud. It's quiet, consistent, and happening while you sleep, if you allow it to. Most people misunderstand what olive oil actually does, and that misunderstanding is why they underestimate it. They think of it as just another calorie, just another fat, just something added to food without purpose. That shallow thinking is exactly why simple tools never get used properly. Olive oil isn't fuel in the way sugar is. It doesn't spike, rush, or demand attention. It communicates. It tells your body to slow down, to soften tension, to move from chaos into order. Your body responds to signals, not hype. Olive oil sends a calming signal to your digestive system. It tells the gut to lubricate, not struggle. It tells the liver to process, not panic. It tells inflammation to quiet down instead of staying loud all night. That's why timing matters. Taking it before bed aligns it with the body's natural shift toward repair. During the day, your system is busy reacting. At night, it's ready to listen. Here's the truth. Most people don't want to accept. Your digestion at night determines the quality of your sleep more than your mattress or your supplements. If your gut is irritated, dry, inflamed, or sluggish, your nervous system stays on edge. Olive oil supports smooth movement and gentle digestion, reducing internal friction that keeps your body restless even when you're lying still. Another hard reality is that modern diets leave the body dry on the inside. Not dehydrated, dry. Processed foods, stress, and stimulants strip away natural lubrication. That dryness shows up as stiffness, discomfort, constipation, and inflammation. Olive oil addresses that problem at its root, quietly, without drama, without forcing anything. People miss results because they expect a sensation, a jolt, a feeling. Real support doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes the first sign is simply less resistance in the body, easier mornings, calmer digestion, deeper sleep. You don't notice what's gone missing until it's gone. Bloating, heaviness, that constant background discomfort you thought was normal. This is where discipline separates from intelligence. Intelligent people understand this works. Disciplined people actually do it long enough to benefit. 1 spoon before bed isn't impressive. It doesn't feel heroic. And that's exactly why it works. Your body thrives on boring consistency, not emotional motivation. Another uncomfortable truth: if something is simple, people assume it's weak. That mindset keeps them stuck. Olive oil has survived centuries, not because it's trendy, but because it works with human biology instead of fighting it. When used intentionally, especially at night, it supports processes your body is already trying to perform. Your body doesn't need to be shocked into health. It needs to be supported into balance. Olive oil does that by reducing internal stress rather than adding more work. When the digestive system relaxes, the nervous system follows. When the nervous system calms, sleep deepens. When sleep deepens, healing accelerates. This isn't about belief. It's about respect for timing and function. The body's most receptive. At night, give it the right signal and it responds. Ignore that window, and no amount of daytime effort fully makes up for it. The mistake is waiting for proof before committing. Real proof comes after consistency, not before. Your body doesn't argue. It adapts. And when you finally align with it instead of overpowering it, the results show up quietly, steadily, and in ways that actually last. People keep chasing big breakthroughs while missing the real problem sitting right in their gut. Digestion is not just about food moving through you. It controls how you sleep, how you think, how you feel when you wake up, and how quickly your body recovers. Ignore it and everything else falls apart. Support it, and your entire system starts working better without extra effort. Here's the truth most people don't want to admit. If your digestion is struggling at night, your body cannot fully rest. Your nervous system stays active. Your hormones stay unbalanced. Your sleep stays light. And no matter how long you stay in bed, you wake up feeling unfinished. That's not because you need more sleep. It's because your body never entered deep recovery mode. At night, your digestive system should be calm and efficient, not overloaded, not irritated, not fighting inflammation. When digestion is smooth, your body relaxes. When it's strained, your body stays guarded. This is why people with poor digestion often feel anxious at night or restless in bed. The body senses internal stress and refuses to shut down. Another harsh realization is this: you can't out-supplement bad digestion. You can't force nutrients to absorb if your gut isn't ready. You can't hack sleep while your system is inflamed. Everything starts in the gut, and nighttime is when that truth becomes impossible to ignore. When digestion improves, everything else follows. Blood sugar stabilizes, cravings decrease, sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. Morning energy feels cleaner, not forced. This isn't coincidence. It's cause and effect playing out exactly as biology intended. People think digestion problems are loud and obvious. They're not. They show up as subtle discomfort, sluggishness, bloating, or just a constant feeling of heaviness you've learned to tolerate. Over time, that tolerance becomes your baseline. And that's dangerous because it convinces you nothing is wrong when something clearly is. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop treating digestion as a daytime issue. Nighttime is when digestion either resets or deteriorates further. Support it at night, and you give your body a chance to start fresh. Ignore it, and you wake up carrying yesterday's problems into today. This is why small supportive habits before bed matter so much. They don't just affect your stomach, they influence hormones, inflammation, and sleep depth. One simple action can shift your entire internal environment from tension to cooperation. The mistake people make is waiting until digestion gets bad enough to address. By then, recovery takes longer and feels harder. When you support digestion early and consistently, the body responds quickly and efficiently. That's how you stay ahead instead of constantly playing catch-up. You don't need to punish your body into health. You need to stop stressing the system that controls everything else. When digestion is calm, your body finally feels safe enough to rest. And when your body feels safe, healing stops being a struggle and starts becoming automatic. The real shock isn't that digestion controls so much. The real shock is how long people ignore it, then act surprised when everything feels off. Fix the foundation and the rest stops fighting you. Most people want dramatic results. They want fireworks. They want to feel something immediately. That's why so many quit before they even notice change. But the truth is, the real transformations happen quietly, behind the scenes, when no one is watching. The power of small, consistent habits is invisible at first, but unstoppable over time. You might not feel a miracle the first night you support your body before sleep. That's normal. What you will notice over time is subtle shifts, waking up lighter, feeling calmer, noticing less bloating. moving through the day with more ease. It's quiet, it's steady. And that's exactly why people dismiss it. They want noise, they want instant gratification, they want results they can brag about immediately. Life doesn't work like that. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The things that last don't announce themselves. Real health doesn't scream. It whispers. It grows in the hours you're asleep, when your body has space to do its work. Most people never notice because they're chasing the flashy instead of respecting the quiet. Meanwhile, your body is willing to do everything necessary if you just stop sabotaging it. Another harsh realization. Every time you ignore simple nighttime support, you're stealing from yourself. You're robbing your future, energy, your digestion, your hormone balance, and your ability to repair. That's not a small price. It accumulates. And the longer you ignore it, the heavier the cost. Eventually, what could have been subtle improvement becomes noticeable dysfunction. Consistency beats intensity here every time. One chaotic night isn't fatal, but repeated nights of neglect quietly erode your energy, your vitality, your resilience. This is how people get trapped in cycles of fatigue, inflammation, and poor sleep without even knowing why. They think it's random. It's not. It's predictable and preventable. The truth is, you don't need a complicated routine. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need motivation that disappears after a few days. You need one small, intentional action that signals to your body, I'm done damaging you today. It's safe to repair now. That's all it takes. One habit, done consistently, aligned with your body's natural rhythm. Here's the final reality check. People underestimate small habits because they underestimate their own consistency. But the body rewards reliability. It responds to signals that are repeated night after night. The small, quiet support you give it at bedtime compounds into deeper sleep, calmer digestion, and more restorative rest. That's the real magic. The kind at last. So, stop chasing drama. Stop waiting for visible fireworks. Respect the quiet power of consistent support. Night after night, your body listens, adapts, and heals. You don't need to feel it to benefit from it. You just need to commit to it. And that commitment over time is what produces results no one can ignore. Here's a truth most people refuse to face. You overcomplicate health. You chase trends, you chase supplements, you chase routines that promise instant results, and you ignore what's right in front of you. You think bigger equals better, more effort equals faster results, and harder equals stronger. That's not how the body works. The body doesn't respond to drama. It responds to alignment, to quiet consistency, to signals that make sense to its natural rhythms. Your obsession with extremes keeps you stuck. You push and push during the day, then crash at night, expecting a miracle to happen while your body is still in chaos. It doesn't. Your system needs calm, support, and predictability. Without that, everything you do in the daytime loses its effect. Exercise, supplements, strict diets, they all fall short if your nighttime habits sabotage recovery. That's the harsh reality. Most people think health requires a big hero move, a visible sacrifice, something dramatic to feel like it counts. But in reality, health is built quietly while no one is watching. One simple, consistent act at night, like supporting your digestion, calming inflammation, signaling your body that it's safe to repair, changes everything. That's where discipline trumps motivation. That's where results actually happen. Another uncomfortable realization, you've been ignoring the small, repeated signals your body sends. The bloating, the tension, the restless nights, the morning fatigue, they're not random. They are feedback screaming at you to stop complicating life and start supporting your body. When you finally pay attention and act, even the smallest intervention compounds massively over time. Stop believing that shortcuts or extreme measures are the answer. They're not. Your body thrives on consistency, predictability, and alignment with its natural rhythms. One night of chaos is a setback. Repeated nights are a slow decline. One small intentional habit at bedtime is a tiny lever with huge potential to shift how you feel, sleep, and recover. This is your reality check. The body doesn't need more effort. It needs less chaos and more alignment. It doesn't need flashy gimmicks. It needs trust, consistency, and support. When you finally stop overcomplicating and start cooperating, the body does the rest. It's ready. It's capable. It's been waiting for you to stop sabotaging it. And here's the kicker, you don't need to feel results immediately. Real results are quiet at first. Subtle, gradual. That's why most people give up before the payoff. But if you stay consistent, if you commit to small supportive habits at night, you'll eventually notice a change so dramatic you can't ignore it. Nights of calm become days of energy. Nights of support become a body that actually heals. And that's the reality most people never reach because they keep overcomplicating instead of aligning.